by George Barna. Many of you know who George Barna is. He writes about trends and things like that in the Christian community. He said, if you spend time searching God's Word for most of the common practices in conventional churches, you will rarely find them. If you go further and spend time tracing the history of those practices, you will soon discover that most of our religious habits are man-made choices. In fact, you're likely to discern a pattern about the way we, quote, do church these days. If we do it, it's probably not in the Bible as one of the practices of the early church. These are just some of the conclusions I've come to, and one of them that really bothered me, to be honest with you, is the fact that pretty much all of our holidays honor Nimrod. That's just the fact. Christmas is the birthday of Zeus, of Mithra, of Osiris, of all of the dying and resurrecting sun gods of antiquity. We try to put Jesus' name on it, but it has nothing to do with Jesus. In fact, if you do the research, and I'm absolutely convinced that this is true, that September 11th is Jesus' birthday, based on Revelation chapter 12. Revelation chapter 12 describes a celestial event with the sun in Virgo, the woman clothed in the sun, and the moon at her feet, and 12 stars at her head. You could go to stellarium.org and download the free software, check it out for yourself, download the software, back the time clock off to -2, which is the way the software reckons 3 BC. Back the date off to September 11th, and you will see the exact alignment of Revelation chapter 12, which is a detailed description of the Messiah's birth.
Signs and symbols that are used in Revelation 12 are well-known astronomical symbols. Here's a superimposed picture over it. Now we have Scorpio and Libra, the scales, but in the ancient times this was one known as the dragon. You have a very small window of time where all of these things can be present at the same time, where everything is accounted for. The sun was clothing the woman, the king star, king planet in Leo, the sign for the tribe of Judah. All of these things did occur in a year that fits well for Jesus' birth, and that is 3 BC. The real sort of interesting thing about 3 BC is since this concatenation of signs can only occur in an 80-minute window, we know exactly the date of the birth of the Messiah in 3 BC, and that date is September 11th.